It is 6:45 in the morning. I can see my breath. I can see my breath in Nigeria. I am in Enugu state. It is not an exceptionally cold morning by Nigerian standards. The temperature is maybe 19 degrees. But after months of Lagos heat, 19 degrees produces visible breath and an involuntary physical gratitude that is almost embarrassing. But it is not the temperature that stopped me when I arrived in Enugu. It is what I am looking at right now. Pine trees, a lake, morning mist so thick you can barely see the hills behind it. A bird making a sound that in Lagos I would never hear because there would be 15 layers of urban noise between me and it. This is Enugu, the coal city, Nigeria's most secretly beautiful state capital. And if you know someone from here and you tell them I called it secretly beautiful, they will be annoyed because to them it is just home, normal, expected. The rest of Nigeria, and certainly the rest of the world, has not received this information. Let me fix that. Vogue Central TV, 3 days in Enugu, the Nigerian city that looks nothing like Nigeria. This is what I found. Enugu state sits in the southeastern geopolitical zone of Nigeria, in a geographic position that gives it something most of Nigeria lacks: altitude. The Udi Hills, the Agwu Hills, the general topography of Enugu state create elevations that cool the temperature, increase the rainfall, and produce landscapes that look as though someone imported Scotland's atmosphere and forgot to add the clouds. The city of Enugu, the state capital, was built by the British during the colonial period around the coal deposits discovered in 1909, hence the name, Coal City. The colonial-era planning has left Enugu with wider streets than most Nigerian cities, a layout that breathes slightly more than Lagos or Onitsha, and a pace of life that visitors consistently describe as calmer than expected. Enugu is home to one of Nigeria's top universities, a rich Igbo cultural heritage, and a food scene that is fiercely specific and deeply underappreciated by the rest of the country. It is a city that has been sure of itself for 100 years and sees no particular urgency in convincing anyone else of its quality. That confidence is part of what makes it beautiful. Nike Lake Resort sits just outside the city of Enugu on the shores of a natural lake surrounded by hills and dense vegetation. It is one of the most beautiful hotel properties in West Africa, and it is completely, stubbornly, unjustifiably under-famous. The resort was built around the lake in a way that lets the landscape do the work. Your room looks out over the water. The restaurant faces the hills. The swimming pool appears to be floating at the edge of the lake, with nothing between you and the horizon except more lake. At dawn, and I cannot recommend strongly enough that you wake up early enough to see this, the mist sits on the surface of the water at a height of about a meter. The hills behind it disappear into cloud. The birds are the only sound. The light comes in slowly, pink first, then gold, then the sharp white of an Enugu morning. I sat at the waterfront for an hour before breakfast, a cup of tea, the mist, the sound of the water, the specific feeling of being somewhere that is giving you time rather than taking it from you. Nike Lake Resort at dawn is one of the most quietly extraordinary experiences available anywhere in Nigeria. It costs a fraction of what a comparable property in Lagos would cost, and it is 3 hours from Enugu Airport by road or 40 minutes from the city center. Book it, go at dawn, bring a camera, stay for breakfast. The Ngwo Pine Forest is located in the hills above Enugu City, accessible by road from the city center in about 30 minutes, and it represents, in my experience, the single most surprising landscape in southeastern Nigeria. Pine trees. Tall, dense, European-looking pine trees, planted by colonial administrators over 100 years ago, now fully grown into a forest that produces shade and scent and a quality of light and sound that is completely unlike anything else within 100 kilometers. Ngwo Pine Forest is a hidden paradise, nestled within the hills of Enugu. Just a short drive from the city, this destination combines towering pine trees, a naturally sculpted cave, and a cold spring that forms a small waterfall. The cave and waterfall within the forest are the specific discovery that made me stop filming and just stand still. A small waterfall emerging from limestone rock, falling into a pool, surrounded by pines. In Enugu State, in southeastern Nigeria, in a country that most people associate with heat and humidity and the flat intensity of Lagos. The forest is cool, not just cool, not the dramatic highland cool of the Mambila Plateau, but genuinely, pleasantly cool in the way that makes you walk slower, breathe deeper, and stay longer than you planned. I stayed for 2 hours. I planned for 45 minutes. The forest was not apologetic about this. Enugu food is Igbo food at its most specific and most excellent, and Igbo food is one of the great under-discussed culinary traditions of Nigeria. Rich, complex, deeply spiced, built around the specific agricultural wealth of the southeast. Ofe akwu, palm nut soup, is the dish I came to Enugu specifically to eat. Made from fresh palm nuts boiled, processed, and cooked with proteins that vary by cook and season and mood. Ofe akwu is a dish that has been feeding southeastern Nigeria for longer than anyone can accurately measure. It is rich in a way that feels ancestral, like the food contains memory. Ugba, oil bean salad, is the Igbo dish that converts the most skeptical visitors. Fermented oil beans seasoned with palm oil and crayfish and peppers, served at room temperature. It is pungent, it is specific, it is not food that apologizes for what it is, and it is genuinely extraordinary, one of the most complex flavors in Nigerian cuisine. I eat both in a buka on Ugwi Road, where the menu is written on a blackboard and changes based on what arrived from the market that morning. The cook, a woman who has been operating this buka for 18 years, gives me extra of everything when I demonstrate genuine enthusiasm. This is the specific currency that Enugu exchanges in. What you notice about Enugu, particularly coming from Lagos, is the pace. Not slow, just unrushed. People are moving, but they are not frantic. There is traffic, but it is traffic with manners, which sounds impossible for a Nigerian city, but is Enugu's consistent, quietly proud reality. The city has a confidence that comes from not needing to compete. Enugu does not want to be Lagos. It has never wanted to be Lagos. It is doing something else, on its own schedule, at its own altitude. Millikim's Hill, the winding road that climbs from the city up into the Udi Hills, offers a view of Enugu that explains everything. From the top, you see the city spread below you in a valley, surrounded on all sides by green hills, with the coal industry's legacy visible in some of the eastern parts and the newer development visible in the residential areas spreading towards the University of Nigeria and Suka Road. It's a city that looks settled, not complacent, settled, like something that knows what it is and has been doing it well for a long time. Getting there, Akanu Ibiham International Airport in Enugu has domestic flights from Lagos, Abuja, and other major cities. Flight time from Lagos, approximately 1 hour. From the airport to the city center, 20 minutes. Where to stay? Nike Lake Resort is the obvious choice for the full experience. Book directly through the resort. Budget and mid-range hotels are available throughout the city for 15,000 to 40,000 naira per night. What to do? Nike Lake at dawn. Ngwo Pine Forest, allow 2 hours minimum. Milliken Hill at sunset, eat at a buka on Ugwi Road. Visit the Enugu National Museum if history is your interest. Spend one morning just walking the residential GRA area for the architecture. How long to stay? 3 days is ideal. 2 days is enough for the highlights. 1 day will leave you wanting more, which is also acceptable. Best time? November through March for dry season and clearest views. But Enugu in the rainy season turns an extraordinary green. It is beautiful in both moods. 3 days in Enugu. I saw pine forests and lake mist and hills and food that changed my way of thinking about southeastern Nigerian cuisine. I found a city that is doing its own thing, at its own pace, with its own specific beauty, completely unbothered whether the rest of Nigeria or the world has noticed yet. I noticed, the camera noticed, and now you know. Like this video if Enugu surprised you. Share it with every Enugu person you know so they can finally hear someone say what they already know is true. Subscribe because next week we find something else. And comment below, what is your favorite thing about Enugu? Or if you've never been, are you going now? This is Vogue Central TV. Every Nigerian city has a story. We are telling all of them.